Okay, I think it's recording. We're going to work on this bicycle hub modification 1. We're going to be working with the file that I gave the class this year on the Onshape assignment. And so there's some changes from the video from last year. So we're going to work through that, and then from there we'll be able to sort things out.
Yep.
So if you look at your new one, what is this? Oh, this is just an assignment, sorry. I'm just looking at it. What do I have all this weird stuff up? Okay. So if you're looking at this here, on the left you're going to notice that we have hub shell, but the other parts are not labeled. In the video they're already labeled because we must have done it in the first video and we didn't, the one I gave you, I didn't do that. So we need to sort that out. So the first thing we're going to do is go to part 2, and you're going to see what it is there. And that is called a sleeve. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. That says hub bearing. Is that all the same? No, it's not the sleeve. It is the bearing. Right? I'm just looking for the names to make shell, sleeve, bearing. Okay, so let's put those in. So this one is the bearing. So right click on it, rename bearing, and then hit enter. Then we want to right click on it, assign material, because that's something we did that we would have done normally that we didn't do. And this says 300 series stainless steel. So we're looking for 300. You just type in here 300 series, and then it starts to come up. Stainless steel. Hit check. Okay, now part 3, if I click on that, is a different part. So let's see, that is based off of here. That one is this, and that's called the nut. Okay, so we'll go back into here, and we're going to say right click, rename nut. We're going to hit enter. And then when we look back here, the nut, it is steel grade 5. So right click on it, go to assign material, and say steel grade 5, and it starts to come up, and hit check. Then we have this part here, which I think was, did we say it was like, let's see, sleeve. So we're going to go ahead and right click, rename it sleeve, and hit enter. And now with the sleeve, we can look at its aluminum 7075. So we'll right click on that, assign material, and say aluminum 70. It's not coming up. I got to just scroll down. So I put in aluminum, and now I'm just scrolling down to 7075 and clicking on that. Okay, so now when I go into my assembly, I have all these pieces. If I go like this and highlight it, and I go like this, my mass is 356.413. If we look at question 1, which I'm going to scroll through and show you, you're going to notice that that is correct. So if we go to the first question, base assembly, we have these options here, and I have 356.413, 356.413. Your option is 4, and you're done, and you're good. So if you were doing this as a test, you've found the answer, you're great. The problem is now we have to edit this for the second mod, or the first mod, and we're going to have a problem. So we have a Part Studio one, assembly one. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say, oh no, I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to say duplicate, and then I'm going to right click on this and rename, and I'm just going to call it Part Studio 2. You could also call it mod 1, because there is like a weird thing with that, but at least that way we have it. This is not part of the assembly one. It's going to have its own assembly in a little bit. So right now all we have is this. All right. So let's look at what's going on. We're going to go with our rollback bar and pull all the way back to the sketch, turn on the sketch, and then go right back to our section view and our front view. And sorry, click on the front face to get your section view. Hit check and double click on your sketch. This brings up all of this, and with the one I gave you, there's already an issue, which is this one line is blue, and I don't know why it is. It's an odd glitch. These are straight up and down and correct because they are, it's an optical illusion because of the diagonal line. So watch for that, but it looks like we have everything we need to make things change. So when we look at the changes on our assignment, can I find it quickly without going crazy here? Okay, so the changes are marked. These number 2s mark what needs to be changed. So the thickness of the bearing is going to change to 8, and the distance of this sleeve is going to change to 64. So we go back into here and we say this is going to be 64, and we say this is going to be 8. And immediately I have a problem, which is that the 64 didn't, like there's like an odd thing going on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to connect these. And this is just because of the drawing I gave you. And when I did that, it got mad at me. Why? What did we do? I'm looking, oh, that's a lot of constraints. What do you think the problem is? I don't know. I wonder if instead we should do this. Hold on, I have another idea. Get rid of that show constraints. What if instead of this, I just cut that piece away? And then figure out what's going on here. Delete that. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that this is a midpoint. So I'm going here, and then I'm right clicking on this. I'm going to select other, and I'm looking for the different, why is this, like this is not drawn right, which is part of our problem. Okay, I'm going to draw a line from here to here, okay? And then I'm going to do that midpoint, and I'm going to pick that line so that it forces it halfway. Then I'm going to take a dimension tool, and I'm going to go from this line to this line. And that is supposed to be 64. And now everything lines up. So, I don't know what that was about. It's so weird. This line is still being odd. What happens when I try to fix it? Is it going to lose its line? Nope. I just don't know why this is blue. Okay, so we've switched this to 64, we've switched this to 8, and we've put this midpoint on the full line between the 2 points so that it's perfectly in the middle. The reason I wanted to do that is because we have this odd shape we have to make. Right here, this 58 by 29. So we're going to go through here and we're going to take a rectangle tool, and I'm just going to go from here. Watch, don't let it do any kind of midpoint or anything weird, and just draw a line. And I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I'm just going to put it in, and I'm going to say that dimension 58. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a midpoint, and so I'm going to go here to that rectangle should exist. So where did it go? Let's try select other, that one. So I'm clicking on the second one down on mine so that it forces the midpoint there. So as you can see, this is already different than my other video. This is 29. So I'm going to go to the dimension tool, click on the top. I'm going to go to the dashed line and then bop down here to to 29. And then it has a curve, like the rounded edges is the radius of 4. So let's put that in here. Here. And hit enter. Oh, mine says 5. Make it 4. Okay. Now, let's see what's going on when I pull back the pullback bar. Is everything cut correctly? Everything except for our sleeve. So let's find the sleeve. That's here. I'm going to double click on that, and I'm going to X out of the sketch that it was doing, and then I'm going to click on all these little pieces so that I make sure it gets it all. And then hit OK. So that's just because that new line exists, and that's why that happened. Okay, so technically everything we did should be correct, and this is where things are going to get weird. We're going to make a new assembly, so I'll go here, plus, create assembly. And I'm going to bring in my Part Studio 2 Mod 1. And then I'm going to drop down here, and I'm going to bring in an extra nut and an extra bearing. Because I already have those other ones in. See, they're all here. They exist, they're just here. In the question, if you're taking the test, you do not have to assemble this in order to get the mass. So there's no reason for us to assemble it. We're just going to go ahead and drag a box around it, and then we're going to hit this display the properties. So now I have 296.31. If we look up here as our options, 296.31 exists. So this time when I did it, it worked out correctly. I have no idea why. But whatever, I'll take it. Okay? So what you're going to do for me for this, which is different than you guys have been doing, is you're going to go to this window here, and you're going to go down to a program on our computer called Snip and Sketch. You're going to do new. You're going to drag a rectangle across all of this. So you're getting your name on the right-hand side. You're getting all of this stuff, and you have the number there, the 296.31, so I can see that you did it correctly. You're going to hit save, and when you hit save, it puts it in a weird spot. It puts it in pictures, which you can see I've done a lot of screenshots here. So you can either remember it's in pictures, or you can switch it to downloads. Either one's fine. And you're just going to say mod 1 and hit OK, or hit save. So when you go into the assignment, I'm going to go into student mode. On Canvas, down here, you can go to the rocket ship. And then you can do mod 1 and hit open. And then hit submit assignment. Oh, I got pizza. All right, guys, that's it. That's what you need to do. So you can do this. I know you can. I believe in you.